Hi, everybody. Lori Lowe here, and welcome to the Sacred Binge. This is the channel in which we share the experience of having binge eating disorder, and we look at it with curiosity and compassion, not to try to make ourselves lose weight or change who we are or finally learn how to love ourselves, but as a tool to understand what has happened to us and why it's not our fault. Okay. So I am really excited about this. I'm actually going to be reading from my recent book, Mouth Hunger. There you go. It is Mouth Hunger, 10 Healing Truths About Binge Eating Disorder that will mend your heart and set you free. You can purchase it on Amazon as both an ebook and this cute little paperback. It is a small book, full disclosure, but what I wanted to do was share some of the information in this book because I've gotten such great feedback from people in terms of it having a message that really is so very different when it comes to the topic of understanding binge eating disorder, why we have it, and what we can do about living a life that is more fulfilling and takes the pain of this disorder away from us. So with that said, I'm going to start with chapter 1, which is the introduction. This book started with a binge. Just as I was about to write the words that you're reading right now, I detoured, sat down, and ate. Not because I was hungry, but because I was afraid. Many times I ate to delay action and as a response to a lurking anxiety. I've struggled most of my life with a fear of failure, to live up to some imagined potential, to be something special, or to at least be beautiful enough to look like someone special. Ironically, I was fashioned from a very young age to be something quite unique, a person with binge eating disorder, or BED. For more than 50 years, I experienced my disorder as a terrible curse, a shameful well of self-criticism, and a social stigma because I never, ever was able to maintain weight loss. Through all my episodes of binging and dieting, gaining and losing, not once would it have occurred to me that having binge eating disorder would become the most positive, healing experience of my life. Like many substance use disorders, BED is an emotional and physical chaos of dysregulation and disconnection, sparked by personal trauma and an affliction we try to pretend we don't have. For those of you just learning about BED, I can't overstate the mental and emotional pain binge eating disorder expresses in our lives. A primary cause of this pain is because binge eating disorder is often synonymous with being overweight and with a constant struggle for weight loss. In Western societies, at least at this point in time, this is a bad thing. The degree to which we are overweight can vary with how acute our disordered eating is, but our belief that binging behavior always needs to be hidden or we risk ridicule and a loss of respect is universally present within the experience. So if you are hiding your disorder, or if you think you have a problem with compulsive eating, or if you think you just need to lose weight and it will all be over, then this book is for you. It is a short book, but I promise you it's going to symbolically punch you in the gut, because I'm going to show you how to transform BED from the curse of your life to your biggest blessing. A profound truth that, when understood, will instill in you a distinctive emotional resilience and physical light. The 10 healing truths in this little book have transformed my life. And I know that if you have binge eating disorder, you can experience this amazing transformation and rebirth of beauty in your own heart as well, binges and all. Chapter 2, the 50-year diet. Before I symbolically punch you in your gut, a little about me. One of my earliest memories is toddling out of bed in the wee hours of the morning and pulling a chair up to the kitchen cupboard so I could reach in and steal lumps of brown sugar from my mom's baking supplies. I ate them like candy, sitting cross-legged on the floor in front of the Christmas tree, staring at colored lights. As a child, I constantly begged for sweet treats. My mother worked in the afternoons, and I would get off the school bus with my cousins so my aunt could watch me after kindergarten. Once there, I would endlessly pester my cousin to ask for more candy and cookies from her mother. Finally, my aunt asked me if I had a tapeworm. I had no idea what a tapeworm was, but I presumed the yellow measuring tape that my mother had in her sewing kit was somehow involved. But I understood from the tone of my aunt's question that a tapeworm was not a good thing to have. I was 5 when our family doctor told my mom I should lose weight. I did not conform to the height weight guidelines that hung on the back of the doctor's exam room door. Salads was the prescription. And I remember feeling ashamed, stubby legs swinging against the white exam table. Something was wrong with me. When I was around 8, my mom put me on the bathroom scale. She was shocked. You weigh so much more than the other kids. My mom counted my calories and watched what I ate, so I began to steal snack foods and eat in secret. I started my first commercial weight loss program when I was a freshman in high school. A family friend was also on the same diet, and at my mother's request, I'd catch a ride with her to the weekly weigh-ins. Once I had my own driver's license, I'd go to the donut shop after the meetings, then drive around and around, going nowhere and eating donuts. I threw leftovers out the car window. I also threw chocolates out the window of my Manhattan apartment when I lived there some 20 years later. In college, I experimented with fasting and laxatives, amphetamines, diet pills, and other drugs. By my mid-20s, I tried compulsive exercise. Like my other weight reduction strategies, it was all or nothing. I either dieted and worked out every day, or sat on the sofa watching TV, eating chocolate cake rolls. In my 30s, I realized that I had no interest in showing up for my own life. I just wanted to eat and be at peace. I went to a therapist and kept going for the next 17 years. In my first session, I told her, "You're not going to make me give up food." The most beneficial effect of all that talk therapy was on my professional life. I started my first business. Eventually, I started 3 businesses. By 2018, I had consulted with high-tech companies in Silicon Valley for 25 years and was considered an expert in my field. I began to teach innovation and entrepreneurship to college students and to coach people to take big leaps forward toward their business dreams. Emotionally, however, I was starving, caught in the misery of something that I didn't even have a name for. Ironically, it felt like I didn't even deserve to have an eating disorder. It constituted a cheat, something that let me off the hook. And I certainly didn't deserve to be let off any hooks when it came to my weight. Always my solution for this spiritual wasteland was to throw another diet at it. I believe I've earned the equivalent of a PhD in dieting. When I lost weight, I would show it off to family and friends. When I gained it all back, I canceled visits out of shame and embarrassment. And that's what it was like for me for more than 50 years. I was either on a diet, falling off a diet, or getting ready to go on the next diet for 50 freaking years. I was so invested in being thin, I completely ignored that I had a very serious disorder. In my world, losing weight was the key. Weight loss would finally deliver the added sense of worthiness or value that I longed for, because this was what my mother, doctor, friends, magazines, TV commercials, social media, And our entire society told me. But everything I had been taught or picked up through inference or absorbed through attitude and actions around my weight was wrong. More than just wrong. False, intentionally deceptive, bamboozling, and ass backwards. Almost my entire life was corralled into a binging, restricting cycle that never delivered what was promised. And even worse, never let me get to know and be my authentic self. One day, while looking back at those 50+ years, it occurred to me that endlessly torturing myself and pretending that I didn't have binge eating disorder was a waste of my life. What if I got up close and personal with BED? Became friendly with it even. I Googled binge eating disorder, which I highly recommend. I told friends out loud in front of God and everyone, I'm studying binge eating disorder because I've had it since I was a toddler. You want to spice up a dinner party? Lead off with that little tidbit about yourself. The 10 healing truths I'm about to share with you are all about this very brave journey. This is a deep dive into binge eating and deconstructing how it has controlled and limited my life. And if you are reading this book, I would suspect it has limited your life too. I've learned that binge eating disorder happens to you, not as you. You are not this disorder. And as you absorb and apply the healing truths in this book, you'll come to understand that owning what BED has made you is the key to a brilliantly fulfilling life. I shared some of this material with a friend of mine who struggles with shame because she's overweight. What happens when I walk into a room and I'm the largest person there? She asked. How do I deal with that? My answer? Walk to the middle of the room, push out your belly, cock an elbow on your hip and say, jealous. Okay, so that is the introduction and the about me part of my new book, Mouth Hunger. You can get it on Amazon. I'll provide a link below. And there are more chapters to go, which I'm going to share with you in upcoming videos. But even as I was just reading that, you guys, I got to tell you, I got a little emotional. Especially, just reading that 50-year diet section. But believe me, what's in the rest of this book, it really has transformed my life. And I believe that binge eating disorder is the key to something really important and special. And it's what makes us uniquely marvelous and wonderful and interesting as a person. And that's the goal of the Sacred Binge. So if you like this video, please subscribe. Hit the little bell so you get notifications of new videos. Like this video. We're building this channel to help other people get this information out. Whoop, and there's my dog Georgie ringing his bell right now. So thanks very much. Until the next time, we'll get some more of this a little bit later, but have a great, great day. Bye-bye.